and welcome to another in the Irish Town series from Old Hiking Geezer and Mrs Old Hiking Geezer. In this video we look at Ballina in County Mayo in the Connaught province. Ballina, with a population of 10,556 when last counted back in 2022, is the second largest town in the county, only beaten by Castlebar, the county town. The town's Irish name, which I'm not going to try to pronounce, means mouth of the ford. Straddling the River Moy, Ballina is sandwiched between the Ox Mountains to the east with the wonderful Windy Gap and the Nephin Mountains to the west with Nephin Mountain itself, clearly visible from many places within the town. Ballina is 41 kilometres from West of Ireland Airport at Knock, 39 kilometres from Castlebar, 32 kilometres from Tubbercurry, see one of our other videos for Tubber, 60 kilometres from Sligo, yet another one of our videos, and only 15 kilometres from Englishman with its beautiful big beach. So what is the town like, I hear you ask? Be patient, you hear me reply. Let's look at a few more facts before we start our tour. Ballina was first settled in 1375 when a settlement was established at Ballina, which is now part of the town. Incidentally, this Ballina has nothing to do with the famous Ballina pottery. That Ballina is a town in County Fermanagh, Northern Ireland. Ballina itself was formed as a garrison town in 1723. The town is a tourist spot due to it being on the 2,500 kilometre Wild Atlantic Way and its proximity to the North Mayo coast. The place has a lovely welcoming feel, and to use an old expression, the natives are friendly. One word of caution: parking. I didn't find one ticket machine that takes card payment. There is an app, but it charges you to top up the account, so carry plenty of change. If not using a car, there are two transport options. There are buses stopping at the bus station, and just a short distance away is the Éanrod Éireann railway station. A spot of history for you. The station opened on the 19th of May 1873 and was the terminus of the Manila Junction to Ballina branch line. The line was extended to Killala in 1893 but was unsuccessful, closing to passengers in 1931 and goods in 1934. After the closure, Ballina again became the terminus. The train you see departing is a Japanese-built Class 2800 going to Manila Junction. But look around the station and you'll see many things relating to its history. There are many places to stay. Hit the internet to find the one to suit your pocket. And as for pubs, there are dozens. I defy anyone to visit all of them. In fact, I advise you don't try. I don't want to lose viewers to alcohol poisoning. This is a small selection. There are so many opportunities to eat in Ballina, from takeaways to fast food to full restaurants. Our video only took a couple of days, so we sampled two establishments. Firstly, Supermax, similar to McDonald's but more expensive. The reason for this, in my opinion, is quality. I find Supermax to be much better than Mackie D's. The second was Bar Square. Again, excellent food and a comfortable, friendly environment. We moved to Ireland from Wales, and as the Island v Wales rugby was on the telly, the video nearly didn't get finished. The town features many big name shops along with hundreds of local independent traders with some very attractive shop fronts. Check them out. Most of Ireland's laundrettes are open air, but occasionally you get an in-store one. There's a big Tesco's and a big Penny's. Penny's is an Irish company known as Primark outside the Republic. As with many large Irish towns, there is a Lidl. And Dunnes Stores, which is similar to Marks and Spencer's. This is the An Post post office. Watch out for the quaint post boxes. Ireland is very laid back, so independent retailers' advertised opening hours may be for guidance only. The River Moy is the heartblood of Ballina. The Moy is 110 kilometres in length from its source in the beautiful Ox Mountains — Gabby and I are lucky enough to live in the Ox Mountain foothills — to its mouth at Killala Bay, where it empties into the Atlantic Ocean. This is the beautiful Salmon Weir Bridge. Opened in July 2009, it is designed to resemble a fishing rod. This is a nod to the popularity of the river amongst anglers. And these are the Ballina Salmon Weirs. Refurbished in 2011, they went on to win the National Tidy Towns Heritage Award from the Heritage Council. They feature hydraulic gates, cranes and a series of fish counters. The weirs allow free passage of fish upstream. Just downstream of the town is Ballina Quay. Sitting on the east bank of the river is opposite Balleek Forest Park and Balleek Castle. It is a mooring point for small boats and is a popular place for salmon and sea trout fishing, and plays its part in the Salmon Festival held each July. It is the last discovery point on the Wild Atlantic Way in County Mayo if you are heading north. Lying midstream is what is left of the SS Crete Boom, a concrete ship used during World War I to transport iron ore from Spain. It was built from reinforced concrete and only a little metal due to the wartime shortage of steel. Like most Irish towns, Ballina has colourful buildings, but the thing you cannot avoid seeing is the colourful street art. Many towns in other countries are filled with graffiti, but Irish towns are enhanced by having the murals, paintings, etc. Just feast your eyes on these. Well, it's amazing how many different murals you see and any Irish town, and also some lovely little Asian windows, like I think you've just got a shot of, haven't you? Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous, all that lazy as well. Stunning. And the artwork's even indoors. This was in Supermax. Jackie Charlton, the Leeds United player and Ireland football manager, had a holiday home in the town. He was a keen angler and owned a home on Moy Heights. I'm not going to say which house, just to protect the privacy of the current owners, but it's easy to find out. He loved the town and the town loved him. His domestic football career was solely with Leeds United, but ironically, he was a lifetime Newcastle United supporter. This mural shows just how much the town cherished him. Joe Biden was the 46th President of the United States. Descended from the Blewett family of County Mayo, Biden is of 62.5% Irish descent. Biden visited the town on the 14th of April 2023 and addressed a huge crowd. The visit is remembered fondly. Michael Tolin was arrested in Ballina by British Crown Forces on the 14th of April 1921 during the War of Independence. After his arrest, he was brutally tortured, murdered and mutilated by the Crown Forces. I know that most British people are different now, but every time I learn of something like this, I feel sick and ashamed. Some of these inscriptions are a little long, so if you want to read them, please pause the video. Next we go to some ancient history. The Dolmen of the Four Males, aka a Ballina portal tomb, the Table of the Giants or Clogbogle. Dating from circa 2000 BC, the dolmen is a kist, that's C-I-S-T, a small stone-built coffin-type box. This ball gives you all the information you need. It doesn't, however, give you the identity of the devastatingly handsome chap in the reflection. It is formed of a massive capstone resting on three stones forming three sides of a square chamber. This stone, lying a few metres away, is possibly the fourth stone that once sealed the chamber. That's the River Rossoak Friary is just one of the many ruined friaries or abbeys in the area. It is 11 kilometres by road from central Ballina and is worthy of a visit. It is in similar condition and layout to Moyne Abbey, but apparently parking at Moyne Abbey is very difficult. The friary was built for the Franciscan order by the Joy family circa 1440. Lying on the banks of the River Moy, I assume that fish formed a large part of their diet. It's believed that the cooking of the fish was under the control of the friar. Cooking the other Irish staple, the potato, fell under the control of the chipmunk. I landed the drone as I saw someone drive up and park. On our travels we meet many fascinating people, and not all are Irish. We had a chat with ornithologist Louis, who was doing a bird survey.
I'm Louis. I'm living in Ireland for maybe now 2.5 years, coming from France and the Netherlands. And came to Ireland to work basically, and now I work as an ornithologist, so doing some bird surveys around Ireland.
Oh, that's lovely. I mean, my husband's going to be very interested. He does love birds.
Yeah.
The winged, feathered variety. I don't even know if you know that word. That it has a double meaning.
Yeah, they're quite
Yeah, I was heavily involved in wildlife trust back in the UK before we moved out here about 2.5 years ago, funnily enough.
Yeah, end of 2022 I think we are actually.
So whereabouts are you living in Ireland?
Near Galway. So
that's not an area we're too familiar with at the moment. We come from sort of Sligo, Tubbercurry area.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice place here around, and
it's lovely.
Lots of very nice things to see, and that's here one of my favorite places for the survey I'm doing, because to have a good view over the channel, the mud flats and everything. The best view is inside this one, inside this I don't know how to call it, friary, I think it's Muredach friary. So.
Well, thank you very much indeed.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And enjoy your day.
Yeah, you too.
A stone's throw from the friary is St Mary's Well. After parking in a little lay-by, you walk for approximately 1 kilometre along a lovely little path. On reaching the well, you come across 7 little stones on mounds. The 7 stations are for pilgrims to pray at. The beautiful statue of the Virgin Mary stands in an elevated position looking down on the well. Next to it is a rag tree. Rags from clothes belonging to a person who is sick or having a problem are hung on the tree, and as the rags rot, the problems disappear. The custom is pagan in origin and was common in Ireland up to the late 1970s. It is still popular with the traveller community. The little hut over the well has a hawthorn tree growing through its roof. Some guides say this is the rag tree. It isn't. The whole site has a peaceful tranquility about it. The Jackie Clark collection was put together by a Ballina businessman and donated to the people by his widow Anne. It features Irish historical material. We arrived late and decided to return the following day to video it. The next day we arrived to find it closed for refurbishment, so coverage of this attraction will have to be in our next Ballina video. Connacht Distillery in Ballina is the first new distillery to open in the county for 150 years. Cader Fields is a Neolithic archaeological site on the North Mayo coast. It is the oldest enclosed field system anywhere in Europe. More in our following video. St Patrick's Well on the Killala Road. According to tradition, St Patrick baptised a local prince here. This is Ballina Barracks. Originally built in 1740 and the main reason for the town's existence, the layout was changed to what we see today in 1786. The barracks are now the Ballina Innovation Quarter, which opened in November 2024. Another one for a later video is the Ballina Arts Centre. Situated near the Salmon Weir on Barrett Street, it gives Ballina theatre, cinema, music, arts, etc. Lying on the east bank of the river, St Muredach is an inspiring, pun not intended, building. The Roman Catholic Cathedral was completed in 1834, although the spire took until 1855. Strangely, when built, it was in County Sligo, but in 1898, county boundaries were revised and it is now in County Mayo. On entering the building, you are struck by the quiet peacefulness. Let's have a brief look around before we go back outside. In the cathedral's churchyard we find the ruins of an abbey once known as the Augustinian House of St Mary of Ardnaree. These remains are believed to have been built around 1427. So is that everything about Ballina? Not even half. There are so many places we haven't visited, so much history we haven't covered, so many traditions to experience, and so much surrounding countryside to explore. Ballina has the old, like this farm machinery. And the new, like this giant communication mast, not far from a 4,000-year-old dolmen. One thing that fascinates me in every Irish town I visit is the pub windows displaying old artefacts like this. Is Ballina a typical Irish town? No, there isn't a typical Irish town. Moulded from its history, each town is different and each has a different feel. We will produce another video on Ballina in the future. Will this other video cover everything we've missed? Not a chance. There's simply too much, and if we covered everything, what would that leave for you to discover on your visit? Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like, subscribe and leave a comment. If you wish to help us further, as at the time of production we receive no payment from YouTube and fund the channel out of our own pockets, please consider donating using Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description. So thanks again. This is Old Hiking Geezer and Mrs. Old Hiking Geezer saying goodbye and onwards and upwards.